When they announced the standalone Joker movie, I heard a lot of skepticism. And then they announced the director Todd Phillips, whose projects are always a hit and miss. For every Hangover, there's Hangover 2 and 3, and for every Old School, there's Starsky and Hutch. But besides that, most of the skepticism was about the character of Joker. He is one of the most well-known villains in the DC universe and comic books in general, and this movie was not supposed to include the Batman. So how can a movie like this even work? Let's find out. I'm Mephisto. Like, share, and subscribe because this is my review of the movie The Joker.
I forgot to punch out.
The Joker is a psychological thriller and not a comic book movie, directed by Todd Phillips and written by Phillips and Scott Silver. The characters are based on the works of Bob Kane, Bill Finger, and Jerry Robinson. At the time, Todd Phillips has had his fill of making comedies. Plus, he found out that it is increasingly hard to make these kind of comedies and not offend somebody. And in the world of Hollywood, that is very important. So he pitched an idea to Warner Brothers and DC to make a low-budget film about the origins of the iconic villain, set in an Elseworlds place, so it will be apart from the current DCU that was going on at the time with Zack Snyder. This was all the way back in 2017 when Wonder Woman was scorching the box office. So the project was approved, and even Martin Scorsese was attached to the project as a producer. And because of that, Warner Brothers wanted Leo DiCaprio playing the titular role, but Phillips refused and said that Joaquin Phoenix was his only choice.
You decide what's right or wrong the same way that you decide what's funny or not.
The story of the movie follows Arthur Fleck, a street performer using an advertising sign who hates his job and he desperately wants to be a stand-up comedian. But Arthur has got some real neurological issues, a disorder that makes him laugh hysterically for no good reason.
What, you think that's funny?
Arthur lives with his mother and tries to be friendly, or even more friendly, with the neighbor Sophie. After an attack on the street, his co-worker gives him a small pistol in order to protect himself, but that only leads to Arthur getting fired after his performance in front of children at a local hospital.
Randall told you that?
Up, Arthur, and a liar. You're fired.
Pushed to the brink, Arthur tries his best at a local comedy club, and when that doesn't go well, it pushes him to do more and more desperate acts.
You're a really good dancer. No, it's not him.
First of all, I want to talk about the setting. The story is set in Gotham. We don't really know what year it is, but it looks like the late 70s and early 80s. The city is set up to be a crime-filled mess that the local police can't truly handle. All this contributes to the depressing atmosphere this movie has to offer, because this is not your typical superhero tale. It explores what drives a regular man to become a supervillain. It explores his motives, his upbringings, and his environment, and tests the waters between insanity and realism. In a very unique way, this is one of the most true-to-life adaptation of a comic book character. You have to realize, since forever, the Joker has been set up to be the ultimate jokester, the chaos to Batman's order. So in this film, Phillips and Phoenix take us on a ride to this villain's soul and tries to show us what makes a man do what he did. Just like in the Batman movies, Gotham is more than just a city. It is a character on its own, and it, as a city, affects our characters just as much as they affect each other.
Well, let me get this straight. You think that killing those guys is funny?
I do. And I'm tired of pretending it's not.
The man who carries the entire movie on his back is Joaquin Phoenix. When it was announced that he will be taking up the mantle of the clown-faced villain, I was surprised and, for the lack of a better word, happy. I did not like Jared Leto's Joker at all. So the fact that we're getting a top-tier actor for a top-tier character fills me with relief. Accounting only for the live-action movies, we got Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, and now Phoenix. All have done serious, dramatic, Oscar-worthy roles in the past, and all all took a different route to get to the character. Phoenix did like Ledger and went full method. But because the movie was low budget and more of an indie type film rather than a full blockbuster, Phoenix went with a body modification similar to Christian Bale in The Machinist. But Phoenix didn't go as far as Bale, and to be honest, he really didn't need to. Phoenix dug deep into the murky water of this incel, this wannabe, this dejected individual, and he dived into deep depression. According to fellow actors, he stayed in the character all the time, eating an apple a day and some cigarettes as food. He was fully committed to bring out his inner Pagliacci, and he succeeded big time. Since the story takes a lot of twists and turns, Phoenix plays it perfectly as the guy you want to root for, but you know where this all leads. I don't hang my hat on the Oscars anymore, but if there was one actor for that year that I didn't have any problems winning, it was Phoenix for the Joker. The Joker is a complex, dark movie, one that I didn't know I wanted, and I'm glad I got. It's a sort of a film out of time. I mean, if this would have come out during the 90s, it would fit with a lot of dark films of that era, like American History X, Seven, or even Fight Club. So the fact that Phillips pushed and made it work is a great achievement for him. Its box office success just proves to me that there is room sometimes for diving into the dark. Although I don't believe that every DC or Marvel villain should get an origin story like this, I'm just speaking generally.
I know it seems strange. I don't mean to make you uncomfortable. I don't know why everyone is so rude. I don't know why you are. I don't want anything from you.
Joker the movie is unique because Joker the character is unique, because the fact of the matter is the original Arthur Fleck, or Joker, had no origin story. He just sprang up one day and started causing havoc to Batman and to Gotham, at least in the comics. So this non-canon film wanted and indeed succeeded in bringing into life a possible story. So to summarize, I will highly recommend you watch this movie. If you're not a fond of depressing films, do yourself a favor and watch it just the one time. It's an indie movie with a blockbuster IP character. It's an exploration of a dark soul and what makes a man get pushed to the brink. It asks questions that a serial killer profiler asks all the time, and the answer you get in this movie might even surprise you. But because of that reason, it is worth watching and exploring.
To be somebody but themselves, they don't. They think that we'll just sit there and take it like good little boys.
I thank you for watching, and remember, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. I'll see you on the next video.